I learned that sometimes when you are in the midst of dysfunction and chaos, it becomes normalized. Like you think that it's just like, this is how life is. And I remember recently, I've been going back, there were so many moments that I didn't write about in the book. I mean, the book, when you think about what I actually went through, I mean, the book is like, it doesn't even touch the surface, as far as like abuse and molestation and things like that. But I remember there were two instances. One, I was talking to my best friend and I had randomly asked her one day, I was like, hey, have you ever been molested? And she was just like, no, what made you ask that? She was like concerned. And I thought it was like a normal thing. I was like, well, I thought that happened to everyone. I wouldn't say like a rite of passage because that kind of puts a weird spin on it, but I would say I thought it was just something that it happens to everyone. It happens when you're younger. It's unfortunate. People just brush it under the rug because it happened to me. And it happened to so many people that I knew that I literally thought that was the norm. And so she was like, yeah, that's not normal. Like everyone doesn't go through that. And that was so shocking to me. I was like, whoa, like I really went through some things that like could really destroy someone, one, but then also this thing that is not normal, but it appeared to be normal because it was so familiar. Children are so resilient and they bounce back. And so when I think about, when I look at my childhood, I think of it as an eventful childhood. It was a very colorful childhood. It was this weird dichotomous childhood where on one hand, my parents, they tried to shield my sister and my siblings and I from the world. So like we couldn't listen to secular music. We couldn't watch certain shows. Like they were very particular about our language. Like stupid was a bad word in our household, right? And we were like studying during the summers. We had summer readings. We knew all the books of the Bible in order. Like those were the things. We were in church. Those were the things that we did. But at the same time, going to jail and writing letters to prison, that was also the norm for us because my mom was back and forth to jail since I was 8 years old. And I also, when I look back at my childhood, I love to move around these days. And I realized, it's because you've gone to about 4 middle schools, 3 elementary schools, 2 high schools. And I literally, Glenn, I was actually up last night and I've had 15 different residences across the country, including a hotel and a shelter, all before I graduated from high school. And I was like, that's not normal. Like, that's not stable. That's very chaotic. And I was like, I thought it was just fun. Like, we get to move again. Like, that's kind of what it seemed to me as a kid. But then looking back on it as an adult, and I realized how